All right. Well, welcome back for another season. I am so happy to be at the range finally. The weather this winter has been like 20 or below, it seems, all winter. So, the nice thing about this now is I am also going to start off into a whole new series now about this Alpha Munitions Brass. I've already showed you some of the testing, its sizes, and all that. But now we're going to talk about reloading it from beginning to end. We'll show how to reload new brass, non-fired brass, and then all the steps afterwards for fired brass. So this is, I've got like 200 rounds of brass just to fire form. This brass has never been formed. So this is what I'm doing here today. This isn't going to be about hitting the target accurately or anything like that. We're just fire forming brass. So I figured since I'm here and nobody else is, I'll do it at 300 yards. So that's what we're doing. Let me reset up and we'll get shooting. Okay, so I'm just going to start recording this stuff now. I don't know how much of it I'm going to record. I got to figure out how to do this. It's been a year, so I forgot everything. Well, not a year, but... Okay, so that should be that. And here comes Mikey. All right, so I'm just going to start throwing them out there now.
I got a face full of shit coming back.
Huh?
I got mud all over me.
Oh, yeah.
That's a mess down there.
So these are all seated at 1.720 at 28 grains of Margit and a Lapua Skenner 105 grain bullet. They're all the same. Well, one thing I didn't tell you here is I changed this whole front rest setup and went back to the original setup just to see what happens. But it seems like it jumps around an awful lot. I may have it too loose. I don't know yet. I'll just keep tightening it a little at a time. It might just be something I have to deal with, so we'll see. But anyways, I'm just going to carry on because all I want to do is fire form this brass today. So this will be about as boring as can be. I don't know how much of this you want to watch, but I'm going to cut it short eventually. Fire forming brass, but I just want to show you what the Alpha Munitions is doing fire forming. Not fire formed, sorry. I wish I didn't wear the sweater. Well, on that particular one, bringing it up helps.
Carpet over what they're shooting, how much better this is, better shooting. And you just gotta remember, we're not even on Lake Smart, we're Lorraine, we're on a different kind of budget.
This is not gonna be competition brass we're looking at here, so it's.
You ever figure out how many rounds you got down the tube?
This particular barrel?
Yeah.
About 1,600 now, I'd say.
So it's just get broken in.
I hope so.
Have you scoped it at all?
Oh.
You ever run a scope through it?
Scoped it?
Yeah, run a scope through it.
Yeah, every time I clean it.
Okay. Looking good inside still?
Yeah, there's some fire cracking, but it's not bad.
Yeah. You get that out of anything after a couple, 3
Right.
What you got?
So that's about all I'm going to film now. That's all there is. I'm just going to start throwing these in there and shooting them down there and letting them go. Okay, people, so the first thing I do when I get back and get down in my basement with everything is I go to my spreadsheets and start logging in this stuff. So these are the same spreadsheets that I have under file downloads. So here I got Alpha, new brass box 1. And as you can see, I've already done this. This is when it was made, and this is when it was fired. Okay, so I fired all 98 of them. There's nothing really pretty or anything to put in here. I didn't even have the laborator out because who cares? I'm fire forming brass. I really don't care. But one of the other, if we slide over these tabs here now, is one that is important that I really like to keep track of because it lets you know. And you can see my buddy out on the range was even asking me this. Times fired. So this is barrel 7. Okay? So I'm going to put in here yesterday, which was 2/17. And I fired it 98 times. And that was Alpha Brass Box 1 fire forming. Boom. There you go. And that's it. That's the first thing I do. I mean, I try to do, all right? But this way, that's out of the way. Now what we're going to do is we're going to move on to decapping. Okay, so the first process we're going to do is we're going to decap our brass. I've got it all loaded here. I've got my Mighty Armory decapping die in here. I have a video on this if you want to look it up. This has a little flicker in it that flickers it down. And then I always forget to put my container underneath, so I just took one, drilled the right size hole in and hooked it on there, and it's there all the time now. So this is like 1, 2, 3, bada bing, bada bang. Nothing interesting here. Except that I put this in the wrong place. It was hitting the arm. Alright, how long do you want to watch me do this? Yeah, that's what I thought. We're just decapping brass now, so this pretty much covers it. You can hear, listen, that flick. This thing's got a spring up here and it flicks down because there are many times when this pin will get caught in those primer anvils and it'll push it out, but it's still stuck on the pin. And when you pull up, it's in there and you can't get your shell back out because the primer's still in there. Well, this ensures that doesn't happen and it's worked 100% of the time. All right, enough of that. I think you've seen this, and now you see another thing is I'm wearing gloves now. I'm not 100% sure that was my health problems because the doctors will never tell you 100% sure what it is. They have to cover their ass. But I'm going to wear them anyways. Why take the chance? Why take the risk? They're only a pair of gloves, and actually I like them. I think they give you more grip on things as you're going along anyways. All right, after we do this, we're going to clean this brass now. So this is the primer cup. These are the 98 primers in there, and look at all that filth and junk in there. Yeah, I'm not going to be having that for breakfast. All right, people, so for now, this may sound a little muffled because I'm wearing one of those 3M N100 masks. I know, I didn't go super paranoid, but this is where I'm pouring in the rice into the tumbler, and there's a lot of shit in the air, so it doesn't hurt to throw this mask on, so that's what I'm doing. So, we've got our tumbler. Here's our 98 pieces. Oh, wait a minute. Sorry. Again, I haven't done this in so long. You get a little out of practice. So what I want to do is I want to fill this up about halfway first. And somebody told me a good trick that I will be using this time also. That's going to save a lot of time, I think. Now I put my brass in. Now I'm going to top it off. Well, I guess that's close enough. I could get more in there. Seal it up. Put it on. 1 hour. We're going to let it run for 1 hour. And usually in the meantime I would be cleaning my rifle. But I got other stuff to do today, like work. That damn work keeps cutting into my personal life. So when this is tumbled, we'll get it out and we'll go on to our next step. Okay, the rice is tumbled. And now, to show you a trick that a user showed me, and I cannot understand how the hell I let this one fly over my head. But, you know, I went through all the time of cutting the bottom of the media separator out so I could put it in a box so that when I poured my brass out of the tumbler out of there was enough room for the rice. Okay? Duh! What the hell was wrong with me? I don't know how I let this one go by, but now watch this. Now that this is empty, I mean not empty, now that this is done, I'm just going to take this and use the grid cover like I used when I was wet tumbling. Ooh-wee. Ooh-wee. This is just amazing. Let me put my mask back on. I know you guys are probably thinking I'm crazy, but I don't care. It takes me 10 seconds. 10 seconds of my life to maybe prevent something. I don't care. So there we go. Now, I'm just going to pour the bulk of the rice back into here. Well, that doesn't work as smooth as I thought. I thought it would become flying out. Now you gotta take it around. Okay. So far, I guess, so good. Get this out of the way. Now that I've got the bulk of that out of there, I should just be able to works like a charm. Why all three of my brain cells didn't think of that, I don't know. That should be good. Now, all I gotta do is pour that remaining back in. What I did is I just took some 1/4 inch real thick cardboard stuff, I don't know, something I had laying around, and I cut it the size of the bottom and I taped it back on and it's sealed now. I mean, good enough for dry. There's no way you could use this with wet, and there you go, so that's that. Okay, here we are at the next step, which is annealing, and as you all know, I anneal after every firing. That's the way I do it. It is the most consistent way. And I use the Annealing Made Perfect Mark II annealer. Okay, I'm going to turn this on. I'm hoping you're going to be able to read what this says on this screen. I guess I could zoom in a little more. Okay, so this is all set up now for my Lapua brass that I was using, but I am not using Lapua brass anymore. So I am going to have to analyze this brass, which is Alpha Munitions Brass. This is new brass, so I gotta analyze it. So I gotta take 3 pieces. This is what I usually do, 3 pieces. You can waste more if you want. I don't really think it's necessary. I usually get a good number out of 3 because it's going to destroy this brass. You're not going to be able to use this brass anymore. So it says mode select Aztec. I'm going to hit start. Then it's asking me to run or analyze. Well, I want to go to Analyze, which you use these 2 buttons here to go back and forth. And hit Start. Now it's entering me to select my pilot number. And my pilot is this thing that screws in here. Okay? And this is for 6BR brass. You gotta make sure you have the right pilot. And hopefully your fingers aren't why this is having such a hard time going back in. I have no clue, but it's, you know, it just has to. Holy crap, I guess I shouldn't have took, what? There we go. You know the reason things like that happen like that? Because they can. Okay, so I'm going to enter my pilot number. And my pilot code is 010D. So we're on 0 already. So I'm going to hit that to move over to this next one. And I'm going to go up to 1. Okay, then I'm going to go to the next one. And it's 0. We want to leave it there. We'll go to the next one and change that A to a D. So now we have the pilot code. Always double check 0100. Geez, Dean. Pilot code 010D. That's what I have there. I'm going to hit start. Now it says analyze and start is flashing. So I'm going to take a piece. I'm going to put it down in there. And I'm going to hit start. Now you can hear it going when it analyzes. So this brass, hopefully you can see this, is destroyed. Now, I'm going to put this in my hot pan, and what that gave me a code is 0144. So, here, 0144. It's not point, so there's no decimal point there. Now, this is where I screwed up last time. That's why I'm doing this again. Do I want to use that or go back? No, I think I want to go back, start, go back to analyze again, okay, because I don't want to just use one piece. I'm going to take 3 and do the average from it. So now I got to put my pilot code in again. So 0 is 0. I'll move over, whoops. I'll move over. 0 is 0 there. Now we're on A. I'm going to put this up to D. And hit start. And now it's waiting for me to put a piece in. I'll put a piece in. And I'll analyze that. Listen to this. It makes quite a bit of noise when it's analyzing. Okay? So there, that piece is done. And that gave me a code of 0.01442. I don't know why I keep saying 0.0. You know, there are just times where my mind just doesn't do what I want it to do. Okay, now I do not want to use that yet. So I'm going to go over to go back. Back to analyze, and select my pilot number again, which is 010D. So the 0 is 0. I will move over and change that 0 to a 1. Move over, that 0 stays a 0. Then I will move over to A and change that to D. Then I will hit start. Now it wants me to insert again. And start. Holy cow. All right, so that has been analyzed, and you can see that is shot. That brass is just shot. But here's the really surprising thing. The code it gave me was 0144 again. 0144. Now, with all the years I've been using Lapua brass and analyzed the brass, I have never, ever had 3 codes come up the same. So what that's telling me is this Alpha Munitions brass is getting another check in the better column, okay? So now that this says code 144, I have it written down, it says use, that's what I got now. So you can see the code is in there, 0144. I will take that code and I will enter in my spreadsheet, and I will make a new label here now for 6mm BR with Alpha Munitions Brass, its lot number and its code. Okay? So that worked out, boy, I've never had 3 analyze sessions give the same code. So now it's just a matter of, and you see here now it says 0 empty. Now I have this start to auto. All right, 1 annealed. Bada bing. 2 annealed. So there you go. Let me dig these ones that are shot and put them in the garbage. I don't save them. I mean, what am I going to save them for? Okay, so we have 2 that are done. And that, my friends, is all for this video. The next video, we'll move on to our next parts in the order of processing this alpha brass now that it has been fire formed. Thank you for watching. If you liked this video, please do the channel a favor and leave a like, subscribe, and hit the bell for all notifications to get notified on new videos. Also, here is a QR code you can scan to get to the website where there is a wealth of information and my shop page. Thank you for watching.